Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? For this exciting episode of BrendaG's design, we're going to be messing with this stuff called Ice Resin. It says Ice Resin right there on the package. And I've never used this before. So, hey, we're going to find out how good this stuff works. I've been told that it's great by people that claim to have used it. So we're going to give it a shot. It says here on the package, Ice Resin Kit includes 4-ounce Part A resin, 4-ounce Part B resin, 8 mixing cups, 8 stir sticks, 2 spout caps, and instructions. Great for mixed media and jewelry projects. Jeweler's grade, crystal clear, and self-doming. So we're going to give this a shot. Here on the back of it, it says Ice Resin. Well, it tells what all it includes again on there. There's a website you can go to. But hey, we don't need instructions, do we? It's harmful if swallowed. I didn't intend to drink it. It can cause severe skin burns and eye damage. It can damage fertility or the unborn child. So I guess if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be using this. Toxic to aquatic life with long-lasting effects. Keep out of reach of children. So we don't have no kids here, and I'm sure not pregnant. There's no immaculate conceptions going on here. So let's get this box opened up, and they got it hermetically sealed for my protection. So we got to cut the tape there and get that off there. And we'll pull the guts out here and see what we got. Now, I'm going to resin these washer pendants that I did the other day. And you know, that ain't showing up too bad there on this camera tonight. I don't know. They decided to focus on them or what. But you see all that cool cell that's going on in them. See, we got 2 different bottles of resin stuff. It's got to be mixed up. And we got stir sticks. We got a little instruction sheet, I guess, here. And I'm going to need the big eye to be able to read that. Let's see. It says here, Ice Resin is ideal medium for jewelry and mixed media projects. A jeweler's grade resin. Ice Resin is crystal clear, self-doming, and self-leveling. Ice Resin is an easy-to-use 2-part epoxy resin. Simply mix a 1-to-1 ratio of equal parts A resin and B hardener. I lost my place. There it is. Stir gently and apply to the project. Then fully allow to dry. Once fully cured, it's crystal clear with a beautiful glass-like finish. Your creativity will last a lifetime as your work will not fade or become brittle. Its surface is strong, and jewelry made with it can be comfortably worn and put through the paces of daily living. Measuring and mixing the ice resin. The most important thing to consider when mixing ice resin is that it works on a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning equal amounts of Part A and Part B must be used together. An accurate measurement is essential to this success. For best results, mix a minimum of 1 ounce each time. Place easy-to-pour spout caps on both resin and hardener bottles using the markings on the provided mixing cups. Okay. With Part A resin to the 1/2 ounce line, and add an equal amount of Part B hardener on top of the resin and fill to the 1 ounce line. Begin mixing 2 parts together using the provided plastic stir sticks. Gently fold the resin and hardener into each other. As you mix, tiny bubbles will form and the color will turn slightly opaque. Ice resin is engineered so bubbles are released during the curing process. Mix well for 2 minutes, making sure to scrape along the sides and the bottom of the mixing cup until the resin and the hardener are completely mixed together. Use within 45 minutes. After this time, the resin will begin to cure and should be discarded. Once mixed, add colorants such as ice resin tints and or inclusions such as ice resin glass glitter, shattered micas, and opals. And then it talks about pouring in bezels, which we're not going to do tonight, but that will be important to hang on to for future reference. And then on the back here, it says, to create a dome top, it's best to pour in stages. For the first pour, stop before the liquid reaches the top and let dry. Once the bezel is dry, well, that's more for the bezel. Okay, sealing an image with the ice resin. To seal an image, photograph, printer copy, or any paper ephemera with the ice resin, it must be sealed using ice resin paper sealer first. Using a paintbrush, apply the paper sealer to both sides of the paper and allow it to dry, which we're not doing, so I don't need to worry about that. Creating translucent resin paper, don't need to worry about that. Mixed media applications. You may apply ice resin with a paintbrush, squeeze bottle, sponge, or syringe, depending on what final results you're looking for. Well, we're going to put it on with a spatula. Discard or clean any tools used to apply the ice resin immediately after use because the resin will harden. Allow projects to dry for 6 to 8 hours. And then they got a website you can go to get more information and more ideas and all that kind of thing. So we know we need a cup, we need a spatula, we need the squirt tops on the bottles, and we know we have to use equal parts. That is essential. So, got the spatula out right there. I'll give you a bunch of them. Then we got a thing full of cups here, and we're going to open that up and get a cup out. And there's the cup. Seal that back up, set that aside. Now, this is part A. It's a blue looking color in the bottle. So, get the lid off of that. Get it opened up here on the top. I need my pokey tool. Let's see my pokey tool. I have to use scissors. Okay, it's hermetically sealed for my protection. This foil stuff. So we'll get that off of there and throw that away. And we'll put a squirty top on it. There's the squirty top. Take the lid off the squirty top. Has that got a hole in it already? I don't think so. You got to snip the little top on the squirty top to open it up. Okay, and you snip the top on it. Got that opened up. Set the little cap aside there. And we'll open up the second bottle, part B. Take the scissors. Take the foil off the cap. I know you can't see what I'm doing, so I'm explaining it to you and what I'm doing over here. So you're not wondering what in the heck's she doing now. All right, we got the foil thing off the top of it, and we're going to put the squirty lid on there. We're going to take the little cap off the squirty lid, and we're going to cut the little tip off the squirty lid. And then part A goes in the cup to the 1/2 ounce line, it said. So we'll get it up here so that I can see the 1/2 ounce line on it. That's going to be a lot of resin. I figure I'm probably going to waste a lot here in this beginning stage. But we'll find out. Keep getting it up here to the light to see where I'm at. Okay, I've got a 1/4 ounce of it in there. Get it up here, evened up so I can see where I'm at. A little bit more. Just about a 1/2 ounce in there. Just a touch more. I kind of ought to do it. Okay, and you see there's, well, you can't see in there very good, but there's stuff in there. Take my word for it. Now we're going to put the lid back on that, or the little cap back on. See, got the cap back on. Do. Set that aside. Now we're going to take bottle B. Go to squirting that in there. Get it up here in the light where I can see it. Make sure I get it up to the 1 ounce mark. And that should do it right there. Looks like 1 ounce to me, total. 1/2 ounce of each. Now we're going to take this little stir paddle that they gave me. And we're going to go to stirring. I said give it 2 full minutes of stirring. Be sure to scrape the sides, scrape the bottom. Fold it into each other. Round and around we go. Yeah, there's way more than I need here for this project, and I don't have anything else up here to pour it on. So we're going to waste a little bit here in the beginning, but this is how we learn on how much we're going to need of this in the future. I want you to mix at least 1 ounce of it, 1/2 ounce of each. So you better have enough projects to coat everything that you want to coat. Stir, 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 stir. Scrape it all down off the sides. And they say that this makes gorgeous jewelry, this resin stuff does, so we're going to find out. I like my little washers. Don't they look pretty? Okay, that's bound to have been 2 minutes on this. It's full of bubbles. They say that that's supposed to come out of it. We're going to find out if it does. Now, I'm just going to drizzle it right over these and kind of poke it to the edge of them. Make sure we get to the edge. Now, the trick I see with this is, Lord have mercy, I need a, now here, I need a little paddle. What I need. Let me get a palette paddle. Because they're going to get this resin down in the middle. And it's going to clog up the hole. Without them sitting flat, it's going to kind of run off the sides too. So we got to kind of move them around a little bit, I guess. Maybe I won't put quite so much on this next one. Okay. Move it off the place where I pulled it up over there. So we learn as we go on how much we need to put on there to cover it without making too big of a mess on it. Now, what I'll do before these really start setting up is I'll move them onto a clean paper towel. Get them out of the puddles that I'm leaving, the mess I'm making. Try to keep them from sticking. Because even if they stick, you can take a little sandpaper and sand it off. But why do that if you don't have to, right? Save yourself a little work. I'm trying to get that to the edge of the washer, both in the middle and on the outside edge. I mean, I've seen resin pieces before, and I really like them. They're pretty, but I've never tried doing it. So this is a new little step for me. Now, I do like Dimensional Magic, but you do have to watch Dimensional Magic with the temperature of the room. If the room's a little too cool, the Dimensional Magic wants to kind of yellow on you. At least that's been my experience. Okay, I got them all coated. See, this one's pooling in the center. I'm going to get another paper towel out here to move them to. Let's see if I can do this without making a huge mess with them. You're probably not going to be able to see all this. But I'll show you once I get them moved. Where the resin has kind of slid off the edges, they'd be sticking to the paper towel. There might be a mess to try to get off of there. So in order to avoid that, I'm going to move them now onto a clean paper towel. Ooh, well, I made a mess there. Put a little more resin on that one while it's wet. Let me just kind of move it there for a second and let that settle down. Boy, that's pretty. I love that design. It's not showing up, Lord have mercy, it's not showing up near as nice as it is on that camera. It's much prettier to the naked eye than it's showing on the camera. That's a shame. And there they are. There they are. Now it's wet, but they should still be real shiny and pretty like that once it's dried. But yes, according to their directions, it's going to take a while for them to dry. How long did it say again? Need to get the big eye out again to see this little tiny print. Boy, they don't make that for old people, do they? I'm trying to see where it says on there. I know, read it. Sure as the world. 6 to 12 hours, depending on the size of the piece. I think 6 hours would be plenty on these. This one is trying to pull here off the side, so we'll move it a little bit there. Try to level it up some, so it stops that. So about 6 hours they ought to be dry. Now, once they're dry, I'll need to flip them over. This has some bubbles in it. These are supposed to come out of there. I'm going to poke them. I don't want it to have a bunch of bubbles on it. This one has a bubble on it. Bubbles there. Those are supposed to work their way out. I don't trust them. If you say bubbles, get them popped. That'll ruin your art piece to have bubbles dry on it. Anyway, once they're dry, flip them over. I think I'm going to paint the back with a flat black color. You could go really with about any color you wanted to. I'm thinking flat black. And then I'm going to put the cords on them and make jewelry out of them. So, who knows? We may do that in the next exciting episode. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media so everybody gets to see how to make this pretty jewelry. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you as a subscriber on the channel. And with all that being said, I think there's only one thing left to say besides visit my Etsy store and see what pretty things that I've got up there for sale. But that is Brenda's Crafty. Be like Brenda.